I hope all of you are having a fantastic Tuesday. I bet Patrick Mahomes is still celebrating. If he is not, he maybe should be, with an incredible news yesterday about his contract. Some of the details that are out there. He got a 10-year extension worth up to $503 million. It includes $477 million in guarantee mechanisms. And this is from Adam Schefter. And the ability for Mahomes to have outs if those guarantees aren't exercised. That is a pretty incredible situation to even think about. It is the richest contract in expectation that he will actually get all of this. It is the richest contract in the history of pro sports. Now, there's a lot of history in the NFL of guaranteed contracts not being guaranteed, but assuming that this is actually accurate, and until you read the entire thing, you wouldn't know for sure, it now means Patrick Mahomes, 10-year, up to $503 million, would be the largest contract in the history of American pro sports. The top five, in the event you are interested, Mike Trout got a 12-year, $426.5 million contract from the Angels. Bryce Harper got a 13-year, $330 million contract from the Philadelphia Phillies. Giancarlo Stanton, 13-year, $325 million deal from the Yankees. And Garrett Cole, a 9-year, $324 million deal. Four of the top five are from baseball, the highest paid player of all time now in all the world of sports, Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, let's think about this for a minute. I, last night, was, as I, by the way, watched Tucker Carlson with Jason Whitlock on it. If you haven't already, major moment for OutKick with Jason Whitlock, who is my partner, appearing on Tucker Carlson to talk about the NFL and the national anthem controversy and everything else. But as I was sitting thinking about the larger impact of Patrick Mahomes' $500 million contract, this occurred to me. The highest paid quarterback, the highest paid player in the history of all sports right now is a black quarterback. The highest paid running back in the history of football is a white guy, Christian McCaffrey. If you had any doubts about the NFL being the ultimate meritocracy, what you look like doesn't matter at all, is there any better immediate storyline just to think about than the highest paid running back in the history of the NFL is a white guy, Christian McCaffrey, and the highest paid player in the history of football anywhere is a black quarterback? And how much does that contrast with the storylines of the people who hate America out there and want to talk about all of the systemic racism that exists everywhere? The NFL is the ultimate meritocracy. Not only is Christian McCaffrey, a white guy, the highest paid running back in the history of the NFL, but now Patrick Mahomes, a black guy, is the highest paid quarterback and the highest paid athlete in the history of American team sports. And both of these guys were top 10 draft picks. Far from being overlooked by the NFL, Patrick Mahomes was, I believe, the number 10 overall pick 3 years ago in the NFL draft. And Christian McCaffrey was a top 10 pick a few years ago in the NFL draft as well. Far from being diamonds in the rough that nobody believed in because they didn't look like what quote-unquote traditional success stories might look like, the NFL was willing to go find talent that may not have fit preconceived notions of what talent should look like. Christian McCaffrey, prior to becoming the highest paid running back in the history of the NFL, who is the white guy at running back you could point to and say, hey, this guy is incredible? Peyton Hillis? Mike Allstott? There was nobody who was a white guy that looked like Christian McCaffrey at the running back position, yet the NFL watched him on tape and said, this dude can play. The Carolina Panthers went and got him, and guess what? They were right. Historically, people would have you believe that black guys couldn't play quarterback. Well, that's certainly not true. But historically, people would make that argument. Yet look right now, the two highest paid quarterbacks in the history of the NFL are both black, Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson. And you got a lot of young quarterbacks who are black that are poised to make a lot of money. Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, all of them are poised to become top 10 paid quarterbacks in the entirety of the NFL. Some of those guys may even be able to challenge Russell Wilson's contract. I don't think anybody's going to challenge Patrick Mahomes' contract. The reason why I bring this up is because I feel like we're in this era where people want to argue that America is an awful place and that it's systemically racist and that it's unfair. How about the NFL being the exact opposite of that and sending a message when it comes to Patrick Mahomes and Christian McCaffrey that they don't care about anything except your overall talent in the NFL, that if you are good enough, if you work hard enough, if you have the right talent, you're going to get paid for that talent and the NFL is going to find you. And that's even if you don't look like what traditional notions of success might resemble. And then I got to thinking about that even more within the context of Christian McCaffrey and Patrick Mahomes. And it occurred to me that both of these guys represent a repudiation of everything that Colin Kaepernick stands for. And I want to open up the phone lines and allow everybody out there to think about this along with me. But why is Colin Kaepernick a hero for anybody in this country? He failed. He wasn't good enough. He was everything that is wrong with our country. Someone who isn't talented enough. This is a dude who got benched for Blaine Gabbert, yet decides to turn himself into a spectacle demanding of attention, even though his talent doesn't reflect that he's worth that attention. And ESPN and Nike now. ESPN is paying Colin Kaepernick millions of dollars now to make a documentary about his life. How many people are more worthy of having documentaries made about them than Colin Kaepernick? This is a guy who rejected all American values and said that Cuba and Fidel Castro and communist governorships and dictatorships that don't give people equality was something that America should aspire to. He said that police were modern-day slave catchers. He called an owner of the NFL the equivalent of a racist slave owner, and he called Ray Lewis an Uncle Tom. He wore pig socks. He praised Fidel Castro. And yet, people are holding him up as evidence of what is excellence in America. This is a guy who wasn't good enough. He failed. He's the anti-Christian McCaffrey. He's the anti-Patrick Mahomes. He is everything that is wrong with America today The idea that if you aren't good enough, but if you whine enough, we'll give you attention. He's not a hero. He's a complete and total fraud that the American media is foisting upon you. And if you are a sports fan, you should be disgusted at what is being done to make Colin Kaepernick a hero when he represents everything that is wrong with the idea of who should be a star in American sports. We should lift up people who rise to excellence and are the best at their craft. That is what capitalism represents. They should be paid the most of anybody in all of America. That's what sports does. And that's true even if you look different than what traditional notions of success might be. Patrick Mahomes and Christian McCaffrey are perfect examples, one black, one white, of the NFL's ability to find talent, even if you look different than what that talent has traditionally represented. I just can't get over how much of an endorsement this should be for the NFL and how much we should be using sports and the NFL in particular as a model for America, as opposed to denigrating sports and trying to drag them down, which is what we're doing when we reward the Colin Kaepernicks of this world. Guys who are being paid millions of dollars despite the fact that they aren't good enough to be one of the 60 best quarterbacks in the NFL. And if you're out there and you're a Kaepernick stan, you're welcome to call in 877-996-6369. But think about this with me, if you would. Cam Newton willing to take around $1 million a year. Jameis Winston willing to take around $1 million a year. Are both of those guys not drastically more proven at this point than Colin Kaepernick is? Yet Colin Kaepernick is making millions of dollars a year without having any discernible athletic talent, because people who hate America want to use him as a symbol of everything that is wrong with America. I'm arguing pretty straightforwardly, aren't Christian McCaffrey and Patrick Mahomes exact repudiations of everything that Colin Kaepernick stands, or more accurately, kneels for? 877-996-6369. I'm going to bring in the crew. We will break down everything that I just talked about to begin this show. But in the meantime, everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. And you already know Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and that they sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know as well. Their newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are their best ones yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise-isolating fit. Raycon's wireless earbuds are so comfortable. In fact, they're perfect for conference calls, video chats, or binging podcasts. And unlike some of your other wireless options, Raycon earbuds, stylish and discreet, no dangling wires or stems. My wife loves these things. In about 45 minutes, her alarm is going to go off. She's going to pop these earbuds in. She's going to hop on her Peloton, and she will be listening and using them as she works out. Right now, you can get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/outkick. That's buyraycon.com/outkick for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Buyraycon.com/outkick. Open phone lines 877-996-6369. Your reaction to what I just said, Christian McCaffrey and Patrick Mahomes, two peas in a pod, two perfect examples of the NFL's meritocracy, two great examples of how sports gets everything right in America. The meritocracy, capitalism, it leads to the most talented getting the most money, as it should be. This is OutKick on Fox Sports Radio.